Right, ladies, gentlemen, and viewers of indeterminate status, I am Hypnos, and this is Tecmo's Deception 3. As you can see by the giant Tecmo logo right there. This is an odd little game. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this series. You could call it a puzzle game, but I don't think that quite captures the rampant sadism of this series. But by the same token, it's not really an action game because your protagonist doesn't actually have any direct weapons. All you can do is lay down traps and use them to horrifically abuse people. And you'll see a lot of loading screens in this game. It's got to be one of the most inefficient PSX games I can think of. No, seriously, there are times where you will see a loading screen for a loading screen. I mean, Christ, cities don't have that much data and they don't spin that slowly. Okay, no name yet because I haven't actually done the story mode. Trap licensing you won't see me do because it's kind of boring and a pain in the ass. You only need it to unlock the use of some of the better trap building options, which you don't get until a couple of stages into the game anyway. But we're going to do the story mode because, yeah, we can. I'll do the trap license on my own time because it's not very interesting to watch. And if we beat the story mode and actually have enough equipment, I may actually do expert mode for the hell of it. Expert mode usually requires you to have beaten the game a couple of times so your traps will carry over in that. But our protagonist is named Raina, and get used to that loading screen and get used to the arse shot of her. It's everywhere. And it's a nice shot, but seriously, it's fucking everywhere. And we start off with a cutscene flashback which never ends well, particularly not when 4 soldiers appear out of nowhere. And judging by the look on that one's face when he reached out to grab the kid, I think they may work for the Vatican. Or not, because they're taking the mother. So, okay, not the church. Seriously, not the church. This one, on the other hand, may work for them. The bad touch. Though why she didn't just break his arm and then send him off running is rather incongruous with the theme of this series, which appears to be about seeing how badly you can mutilate any given enemy. No, I'm serious, the game actually awards you points for doing that. And now we're in what appears to be a ship tied up with someone next to us, which I think is the mother from the last one, judging by that. And yeah, they didn't actually bother to re-record English voices for this game. Not that it matters, because there's not a lot of voice dialogue. You only, as far as I know, you only get voice dialogue in the actual pre-rendered cutscenes, not the in-game ones, which aren't that many. And like I said, there's that ass back again. Who the hell wears a backless epaulet? I mean, seriously. And we are introduced to what is clearly the evil king because, you know, he's in a bunch of finery. He appears to like having tied up girls in his throne room. And he looks vaguely like the Italian equivalent of Genghis fucking Khan. It's a bit hard to step closer when you're tied up and on the ground. Okay, I think we can guess what he wants with her. And how we know that this is not the Italian city-states. He's even got a system set up for this. What the fuck is wrong with these people? And, oh god, she's going to do something stupid. There we go. This is what we call a fatal lack of tactfulness. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valour, because kings like this tend to be fond of, shall we say, disproportionate fucking retribution. You know, like wiping out an entire family because the mother's a dick. And, you know, this king really does strike me as a dick for the sake of being a dick. Miguel, on the other hand, with that, you know, really thin-faced grin and the love of stabbing people right in the womb, seems to strike me as somebody who's a dick for the sake of having fun. Yeah, I'd faint too in that situation, I think, which is probably for the best given what's likely about to happen. At least this is a literal stabbing of the small child and not a metaphorical bent over the altar stabbing of the small child. And now we have a nice sepia-toned flashback, which is, I'm guessing, meant to alleviate the horror of what just happened. And there is no way that brooch or necklace, I can't tell what it is not a plot point of some sort. I mean, they've even put it in colour in a washed out flashback, so I'm guessing it's going to be important. And I'm guessing this is, you know, the mother who found her and adopted her after the soldiers carried off the original one. And okay, Paul, her little brother, is a douche and probably had that coming. Miguel is starting to look a little bit more justified in his assholishness. On the other hand, Rosetta's bravery appears to have been long-term, and Miguel's still a dick. No, he is not just a dick, he's a giant throbbing Ron Jeremy-sized dick, who appears to like backhanding small children for not giving him their money. And it's almost, you know, like he's a Bangkok pimp. Except most of them aren't named Miguel, for obvious reasons. And now we're back in the present, yet disposed. If they're not setting this guy up as, you know, the person you'll chase the entire game trying to murder, I will be very surprised. And I'll still try and murder him, because, seriously, this game cannot allow you such opportunities for sadism, and then not give you the chance to take it out on this little shit stain. Seriously, if I ever get the chance in any level to kill him, I'm going to ram a pendulum blade so far up his... Oh, you get what I'm going to do. I'm going to ram it so far up there that it will knock out several of his teeth. And then I'm going to dump him into the fireplace. With the oil vase, because I fucking can. Seriously, this game is brilliant in how it just rewards you for being an absolute monster to people. It's fun. And we're seeing what I think is our first glimpse of dissent in the ruling court. So I'm guessing of the 4 characters we've been introduced to, we're probably going to get about 1 survivor. Not counting the protagonist, who is likely to survive the game because she's the protagonist. That is an absurdly spacious dungeon cell. I mean, that is like royalty down there. And if this is an escape, if this doesn't count as the main tragedy thus far in the game, I don't want to see what Chapter 2 is going to be like. I'm hoping it's just that they botched the translation horribly. And they've even got a backing cross for, nailing people too. And chains, and a barred window for which somebody can probably throw a key of some sort. And this is grade A dungeon material right here. And seriously, Michelin star and everything. Don't actually know what the Michelin star is for, but I'm guessing it's not for this. And I'm guessing this red little dot thing is also a plot point of some sort, because seriously, what the fuck else is it going to be? Particularly with that lingering little flash on the brooch there. The stone has disappeared. This is not good. Oh, right. This stone is what gives us our ability to place these horribly sadistic traps everywhere. This game actually rewards you for comboing traps together to hurt people even more. Including if you end up doing 3 or 4 times their health bar worth of damage to them. Because it takes a few seconds for them to actually keel over and die after they're defeated. Longer if they're held stunned in a trap or something. And it appears our protagonist has had an attack of, moral character. Not moral clarity, of course, because she doesn't hate, sort of truth. This is the first little thing. Poor Gordon, the torturer slash jailer slash whatever the fuck else he is, doesn't actually move. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for my trap to charge up, and I'm going to have some fun. He's now pinned with a bear trap and shot with an arrow. So I'm going to call down a pendulum, which will stab him in the face and throw him into the wall. Like a dart. How's it feel, Gordon? How's the pain feel? This game really brings out the worst in me. And yes, Bianca, who's been renamed Bianca, he is dead. This generally happens when you stab someone in the face with a giant swinging blade. Particularly if it hits them hard enough to throw them 10 feet into the nearest wall. oh, we get to set up our own traps this time. Now, particularly astute observers may have noticed there's an Iron Maiden in this cell. You know, the casket with spikes in the supposed medieval torture device that wasn't actually invented until the 1800s, and has probably never actually been used to torture somebody. It's a nice image though, and we are about to use it to torture somebody. If you can't tell what happened to him, you're probably a little bit blind to be considered a decent guard right now. Although his name is Jade, so I'm guessing he probably didn't get the nicest of upbringings. So we're going to put down a bear trap, we're going to put down an arrow slit just for the combo factor, and then we're going to put down a pendulum right fucking there, because I can see a combo coming when I want it. Now all I've got to do is avoid the little shit stain with this sword until my traps are all set up. The more powerful the trap, the longer the charge time and all that. Could have dropped him on the bear trap then, but I'm going to set him up properly because I do not want to be in the path of the arrow slit, because you can friendly fire your own traps. There's the pendulum, and there he is right into the Iron Maiden. Notice the loving little zoom in it gives before he appears, staggers out, and collapses in a pool of his own blood. Although how exactly he made it out of the Iron Maiden without bleeding beforehand, I don't really know. And the girl is loose. Bianca is on her way out. And yes, she was named Rena. I renamed her Bianca because I think that's a much more interesting name for a psychotic killer. She's not one yet, of course, but seriously, you can't shove people into Iron Maidens for long without developing a few niggling little mental issues. And that kid is brave, but he has got a death marker on him already. Any cute little kid's sidekick in a game like this is dead. Not just yet, of course, because that's a trap marker right there. And the sentry apparently has the reflexes of an anaesthetized sloth. And this is Albert. I don't actually know who Albert is, except that he's Marco's brother, and I don't really know who Marco is either, so I really don't know shit at this point. Except that they're not currently trying to kill me, and that they may be willing to help me kill other people. So I'm going to assume they're temporary allies for now in my quest to invoke even more devious and violent traps with which to kill people. And King Frederick was really reminding me of just a bad guy to work for right now. And we have another named character who I'm going to try and kill. Edgar, who appears to wander around in full armour because he's just that hardcore. Which means I'm probably going to need a better trap than a swinging pendulum blade to get at the little bastard. Well, he's not that little, but anyway. And that's the end of stage 1 of 20-something. 23, I think. Yeah, you notice that, yeah, the more you kill, the less damage you take, and the more traps you use, the more arc and dreek you get, which is basically your... Arc is your points, dreek is your cash. The other thing about this game is it keeps a death file. You can actually check who you killed in the level and how. See, Gordon was the torturer hacked to death by the pendulum. Jade was a soldier who was crushed horribly by the Iron Maiden. And that's the end of stage 1. We're going to be back with stage 2 whenever the fuck I can actually get this to work properly, because recording stuff like this on a PlayStation emulator is a pain in the ass.